Okay, I bitch about this a lot, so I wanted to make a tier list and talk about my opinions. I'm probably just gonna go down the list as it is, not in any particular order, and then I might order them after. Okay, so generally starting, um, Astra's probably like, I don't know if it's worth giving them the merit that they're B, but I think that they have. No, they're not. No. I think I would rather generally have people extracting than Astro. Um, he just doesn't do enough, and there's not enough use cases where like I feel like he's necessary. Now, a good Astro is fine, but 90% of the time they're just making everything slower to do like nothing for like the whole game. I mean, there's always good times to have them, but you know, you could always hold a box of chocolates or like a bottle of pop. God forbid, Bassie can hold either of those and give them to you basically the same. I mean, not at a range or anything, but I mean, like, still, like, Jesus Christ, I feel like she does more. Like, there's more use for Bassie, I feel. I don't feel like she's that amazing either. Because, I mean, she has to have items in the first place and then get to you in the first place. The most she can do is back up, but not very well because of her stealth, and generally, not super great at extracting either. So a lot of the time they also kind of don't do anything, but I feel like there's a lot more use cases where they're doing something and they're actively helping the team, and there's something that I want to see. Yeah. Blot, yeah, Blot's... I'm bordering on F. Blot is fucking horrible. I don't know about F, but they're definitely fucking ass. I mean, they can't extract, so what do you want them to do? They can distract, but worse than like basically every other toon in the game, besides one. And the only use case for their ability is, I guess, stalling Pebble. But even then, I feel like that just creates more problems, and it's not even that good. Because the fact that they will only generally stun one Twisted, and they don't stay. You can't use them as like protection because they just go away. You can't you can't just like stun all the Twisteds and like get an escape opportunity or anything. They're just like nothing. If there's more than one Twisted on you, Blot's ability does fucking nothing. Unless, as I said, it's Pebble or something, but because he'll be in front of everybody. It's just not good, like at all. There's nothing good about Blot whatsoever. Period. Bobbette. Now, before Christmas, I think I would have put them relatively low, but I do think Bobbette's pretty good now. I wouldn't say meta or anything, but Solaring is nice. Stamina regen and speed is good. Generally, being able to give anybody stamina regen and speed is amazing. The only thing holding her back is that low stealth. From being able to like save teammates by like walking into them and whatnot. But it's still way better than it was. Solaring alone puts her up here, and she's good at extracting, and her ability's good. It's nice. She can even pass with her ability, albeit not well because of her stealth, but it's possible. There's times I've done it before. She's just generally good. There's not a lot else. Boxton. Okay. Well, I mean, this is a general speaking. This isn't like looking at the people who are playing Boxton and their skill level, but Boxton's like a B. I'm almost bordering on A just because they're really good at extraction. Nothing else though, but I mean, like that's just good, I might swap Bobbette and... I'm swapping them. I don't actually generally think Bobbette's A. Because the only reason they'd be an A is because of Solaring, which is really good. But, in general, they're okay. That's their only use case, which is a single playstyle, which is good. I don't think it qualifies them for A, but definitely a high enough tier, It just feels wrong putting them in A because they're like an accessory almost. Boxton's good. They just extract fast. They're at A, I guess. I might move them down or later, but that seems pretty alright to me. Nothing too special. They extract fast, and that's about it. And they do their job. So, Brightney, I'm bordering between D and C. Probably C, just because they can extract well enough. And stealth is bad. And stealth is really bad. And like an organized team, at least, it's just not that fun. It's you have to worry about it all the time. And there's not a lot of things that a lot of distractors can do aside from Pebble about it. Which, I mean, isn't always a problem, because, you know, most people are playing Pebble, but, you know, breaking line of sight is the only thing you can do. She can extract, which is why she's in C. Otherwise, her ability is... it's not that good. It's functionally, it's just not that good. She's... I don't know, not much else to say. She's not good. Brusha? Brusha's fucking F. This is... I generally think Brusha is F. This is the worst character in Dandy's world. Aside from maybe like another, which I might speak of, but that's only because, you know, some bullshit. Brusha is beyond useless. Their ability is functionally... there's nothing. There's no reason to use it. And the reason I say this is because you might be like, oh, well, I mean, you can boost skill check on some low skill check toons. Well, the thing here is that the most that it does is increase skill check bonus, which I'm not even sure if it does. I'm pretty sure it did, because I'm 90% sure I've like looked this up and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it does, but it's negligible. You would be doing more for the team by doing a machine yourself, and you're not even like that crazy at extraction either. This is one of the cases where the niche that this toon fills is actively slowing progression down by existing, because you could be doing more work getting on a machine yourself, and there's other toons that do that better. So you do functionally nothing. You know? Like literally any other toon would be fulfilling like some sort of niche. You are just worse at everything and do nothing like unique really. Because your ability is like it does nothing. There's no like use case where like it's better than just extracting. And like, you know, if someone's using a low skill check toon and they want to extract, I feel like they gotta learn to hit the small skill checks. You should need someone to handhold you to like aid to progression, which might be, you know, crazy to say, but I mean, suck it up. I mean, you gotta fucking play the game. Cole's also F. Cole can't really extract very well. Can't distract very well, and because I mean, they can distract fine, but they don't have anything aiding them to make them better than literally any other toon, and also their stealth is 3. Their ability is good. I do like Cole's ability. The only problem is that's all they do. They don't have anything else that they can really do. Back when I was getting Cole's gold skin, I would use Vemo in Mag and just distract if I had to, because it's just like, what else do? You get a machine done, and then you do machines slow as fuck, and you tell people where items are. That's all you do. You do nothing. I wasn't gonna order in tiers now, but definitely more useful than Brusha, but not by a whole lot. Actually, no, okay. I was gonna say maybe Brusha's better because they can extract better, but at least Cole fills a niche. Cole has something they do. Coco is A tier now. I would have said Coco was around like B, maybe, because they extract well, and the bonbons are good for a lot of different situations. But their extraction, it wasn't that crazy with the amount of setup you have to do to get the benefit from bonbons, but they still extracted pretty okay, and their 4 stealth is nice. But that buff on that time, insane. They do machines so fast. It's good. It's very nice. I wasn't going. I mean, yeah, bonbons are just good in general. There's a lot of situations where you can use them, and I think that she's just always like a boon to the team, especially because of her stealth. Even if there's a bad Coco on your team, seldom are they not doing something because their stealth is so, you know, so high. I wasn't going to. I don't even see him on the list. Okay, well, this tier list is, I guess, old, but envision that I put Squirm bordering on D. I put them in C, because they can extract fine. The problem with Squirm is the amount of time it takes you to eat the book and then, you know, regain your cooldown, whether it be sitting on a fucking bookcase and doing nothing for a 2 times cooldown reduction. You're just wasting so much time you could be actively doing a machine. And the amount of time you waste to get your cooldown back, or to even eat the book, is machine progress that would have, like, basically done what the boost you get. If not, like, more. 9 times out of 10 when I play with Squirm, I use the ability, I get my boost, and then I get on the machine and I don't feel like it did a whole lot. Like, it's fast, but I also just wasted 5 seconds eating a book, and then also have to wait 80 seconds to get the book back. It's just not worth it. It's not good. And I argue Coco basically does the same thing but better. It takes her 1 second to place a bonbon down. They can pick it up and then they can just hold it. And whenever they want to get that boost, they just use it. And they can stack multiple at once. The only downside being that they need an open inventory slot to utilize it. But even if they can't do that, they can place it onto teammates on a machine, and they can do the machine faster. It's good. It's just nice. And it's functionally what Squirm does, but better. And also, Squirm has 2-star stealth, and that's fucking annoying. So, yeah. Yeah, Squirm's kind of bad. Which is crazy, because I thought Squirm was going to be, like, pretty good, too. They sound pretty nuts. Connie's like D. I mean, you don't really need 5-star stealth, and their ability, like, I mean, it's good, I guess, but her speed makes it so seldom does it, like, actually get you anywhere. I feel like they should get a tiny speed increase when they're invisible. I feel like that would make them a lot better. At least, like, you know, at survivalist, getting away and whatnot. I still feel like she's a lot overkill on the stealth and all that, but, I mean, she can extract, I guess, so it's fine. The only problem with her is her being so slow means that the time it takes you to get machines is so much higher than any other person on the team. It's sometimes it's hard to even find machines to even do anything as Connie, so, you know. That on top of just, like, your survivability not really doing a whole lot for you. They die usually early because, you know, to a Twisted see you again after you use your ability, you're basically dead because there's no way you can get away. Even if you get hit, you're so slow you're just, like, screwed. But, you know, they do something at least. Better than Cole and Brusha. Eclipse, I'm pretty biased. I think Eclipse is A. Functionally, there's not too much special about them. 2-star stealth, and their 4-star speed. They get a boost in blackouts, and are only slightly faster than Pebble, making them, you know, in game once you have all the cards. This is a max 25% of the time. You'll be like a tiny bit faster than Pebble, like negligibly. I can't talk. Whatever, you know what I mean. A little bit faster than Pebble, and that's it. She's good. She's fine. She's fun. I like her 2-star stealth. The big boon that she has is she gets insane stamina. Now, I think after Dial and the 2 cards, it's something around 367 or something like that. 67. It's a lot, and you can do a lot with that. I was fumbling really late floors, and I had so many Twisteds, and I could just waste all that stamina and not even have to, like, flinch or care, because there was just so much of it. I had all mains, like Gordy, all mains besides Pebble, and I would just be able to just sprint tap around, even with V, and just, like, be fine. It's ridiculous. She's very nice. I do not think that she's better than Pebble, or even Louis for that matter, just because they're more consistent. Louis is fast all the time at 1 heart, and Pebble is Pebble. Yeah, Pebble has Bark. Pebble has, like, just generally, like, high speed, and is always basically Blackout Eclipse, just without that stamina. Which, if you were more experienced and better at the game, or you have methods to manage this, like Astro, I guess, or, you know, bottle of pop, or box of chocolates, or anything, it wouldn't be as big of a problem, or, like, it matter as much to you. She's still nice though. Cosmo, Cosmo's, I'd say about B. The main boon of having a Cosmo is letting a Sprout heal themselves. Otherwise, they make it so, you know, distractors don't have to hold their meds. Which is good. I don't think they're that amazing, though. After that buff in the Christmas update, they're, you know, on par with Ginger. The problem is, now, is that they can't extract as well. That's what Ginger was good for. But, you know, they're okay, I guess. I think they serve a purpose. I'm starting to want... They're low B, I'd say low B. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say on Cosmo. He's kind of just does his job. Eggson, you're about Actually, well, I was gonna laugh, but after the update, 20% on a machine instantly is nice. If you just go tap machines, you're reducing the total machine's like time by 20%, which is nice. That's good. 10% was negligible, but 20%'s nice. It's noticeable. Baseline stats, so they're not really that special. They can extract, they're fine. This is probably like one of the more like generally like rounded toons on the list. Smack dab in the middle of C. They do their job, they do it fine, and they're a boon to the team. That's all right. Finn's B. Maybe higher B, but no, I don't know. They extract fine. That speed they get from machines lets them zoom out to another machine insanely fast. It's nice. I like that. Nothing else too special to note about them. They are able to get to machines fast, and they can do them moderately okay. So that's a boon. That's enough. It's a boon to the team. They do enough. Flutter. Flutter might be C. Yeah, Flutter's C. Now, I'm 90% sure they have 3-star stealth, but I'm going to... Even if they had 2-star stealth, I don't think it'd be enough to, like, warrant them to be a better, like, general extractor. But I'm pretty sure they have 3. Did I say extractor? I meant distractor. I don't know. Their boost doesn't do a lot for them. Once you already have everything gathered, it isn't going to do a lot unless you have a stretch to go to get stamina, I guess, or like not use stamina. But even then, I don't know. I just don't see many times where it's very useful. Because anytime you're going to do it, you're probably going to lose line of sight and lose your twisteds. And she doesn't really extract very well. So if you're not distracting, what are you doing as Flutter, really? You know? You can say like survivalist, I guess, for the dash, but Rudy exists. And he also has a dash, not as long, but I mean, can extract generally better and is just way better at the survivalist thing. Yeah, I don't know. She's just kind of nothing. I might put her in D, honestly, but I feel like she's at least better than Blot by like a lot. So you know, Flight is like A. Flight has the capability to distract with 4-star speed. An ability that gives them more speed whenever you need. Basically what I would say is Flutter's dash, but better for distracting, and it also helps teammates just in general. Use it at the start of a match, everyone gets to the machines faster, you can gather faster, you can use it on people on treadmills to make them faster for a bit. You yourself can do machines fast, you can do treadmills and regular machines good. Now granted, this is the generalist kind of jack of all trades thing, but they do everything above average, I'd say. You're not really excelling at anything, but you really do everything kind of above average. You could theoretically just extract machines and do it pretty well and also back up if necessary. Now, I don't think they're insanely good at distracting, but they're better than most, so I'll take it. It's good. Yeah. GG. I don't actually know. Oops. GG. probably like low end C. Maybe above flutter. I don't know why I'm ranking in tier ranking these yet. Having items all the time is good. I guess, you know, that's like their one boon. That, you know, it's also a gamble. I'd say at most they can extract with you know, all the items they get and do it well. They're not bad at extraction. You know, I think that's fine. It's just because generally they're good at surviving, which is it's I guess nice. But I mean, generally you don't have to if you have a distractor. But generally speaking, the survivability is good. You have you know, the means to do machines faster with some items, even though you do kind of extract a little slow. And yeah, I think she has higher stuff too, which is always nice. As someone who distracts, it's nice. But yeah, she has a niche she fulfills. She serves the job. She's generally a boon to the team. That's fine. Nothing too crazy. Ginger, I don't know if I want to put you in B, but I will. Because I think, personal experience, I don't think I ever see much value from Ginger, but if we're generally speaking, 2 hearts at once is nice. Of course, it's only on, you know, non-mains, but that's still nice. The fact that she has to stand next to people is kind of awful. In certain like situations, or if you're distracting like Pebble or something, it'd be really hard. But generally, because of her stealth, she's able to get in, do it, and leave. Or, you know, when there's downtime, which is always good. Just to be able to do that. 2 hearts is awesome. And she extracts pretty okay. So, you know, yeah, she's good. I'll take it. I think honestly better than Cosmo, even though I don't want to say that. In most cases. I think in more organized cases, Cosmo would be better, but I think in most cases, Ginger, I think, is doing more. Mostly because of the extraction, honestly. Being able to do things in your downtime besides just sit around and exist is good. Glisten's like high C. They extract well. They have a good ability to escape. You can't really use it to get to people because of the high cooldown, but it's fine. You can extract well, so you do something. And you have survivability that you can make use of. So yeah, that sounds about right. Nothing more else to say. Goob, you are D tier. Ah! Yeah, Goob, you're D tier. Goob is 4-star movement speed. Can extract very well. 2-star stealth at least. You can distract fine. Problem is, you don't have anything to make you special besides your stealth. I don't know if I want them this low. Maybe below Flutter. That sounds about right. Flutter at least has an ability that aids what they're doing, I guess. Goob's ability does nothing, other than maybe taking Twisteds. But that's so niche, and if you have 2-star stealth, you probably already will take Twisteds, or you should just learn how to, like, pass. The support capabilities of the ability are nice and all, but, if you're distracting, there's not a lot of times where you need to use it. You shouldn't be in the elevator if you're distracting before everyone else is. You know, like, and if you have Twisteds, you can't really grab anybody because the Twisteds will hurt you because you get stunned for a second, so you never get to use the ability, which is the whole reason that you'd be playing the character. And if you're not distracting, then you extract so slow. There's like no reason. Yeah, Goob kind of just falls flat and kind of does nothing. I kind of don't want them in C either. It doesn't feel right having them like this low, but I think that's kind of where they gotta go. I think at least they serve more purpose than Blot. I don't even know if I want to say that. Actually, I was about to dog on Blot and say they were worse, but it's a fight between the fact that Blot can sort of stall Pebble, I guess, even if that does make probably more issues usually. And, you know, Goob does nothing in the one role that they can fulfill, but at least their supporting ability does enough that I feel like if you were just sitting around extracting doing it, it would kind of do more than Blot would be doing generally. So I guess Goob has to sit there. Gordy's fine. Gordy's in B. Gordy would generally be higher on a lot of lists due to their extraction speed and skill check, but people ignore the fact that that stealth really matters. You know, especially because all distractors, besides Pebble, won't be able to do anything about it, and Pebble having to waste their bark just because Gordy exists nearby is kind of shitty. Now, if you're smarter, which we're assuming you would be, the extraction speed is really good. Really, really good. And you can boost people. And that speed, I'm kind of forgetting about their passive, that speed you get at the start and end of the floors is really nice too. I think they might be higher. Generally higher than... Yeah. Now, reminder, this isn't about players. Again, like public lobbies. This is somebody playing at their best, I suppose, with a character. And... yeah. They're good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth saying. That stealth is really, really annoying, though. Even at optimal play, it's still something you have to really pay attention to. And it'd be a lot better if you wouldn't have to do that. And, you know, sometimes I really don't think that their, you know, high extraction speed stats really do a whole lot. If you really look at the numbers, once you get to the higher end of both skill check and extraction, the other stat ends up providing less for you. So having both of them maxed out, it does enough, you know, it's noticeable, but it gets more negligible. So something like a 4-star skill check, 5-star extraction speed would be sort of, you know, you wouldn't really notice it compared to 5 stars in both. So I don't think it's really necessary. As crazy as it looks, it's really not that insane. Where Yada, for example, their 2-star stealth means that they have a lot less of the problems Gordy does. They get free box of chocolates too. And they extract at about the same speed. Like generally just the same speed. Now, I think Gordy, you know, that boost you get from Panic and at the start of the match is fine. That's good. That's probably the best part about them, I think. But I think Yada generally can extract better and you have an easier time doing it. So I think just generally they're higher, especially as someone who plays Extractor, which might be my bias speaking. I would have to worry less about a Yada being around if I'm playing a 2-star like Stealth Extractor for a second. They just assume for a second, and there's just less cases that I would have to worry about a Yada than a Gordy, is what I mean to say. Because I mean, it's not always their fault. For example, if you need to move a Twisted somewhere, you know, you risk bringing them into a larger open area, and Gordy just happens to be there. You know, for an emergency where you have to move, which generally you shouldn't. But, you know, assuming you would, that's, yeah. Yeah. I might change my opinion later, but I think that sounds nice. That's fine. Louis is, you know, I don't want to say yes. I kind of don't. Everyone does. Louis is really good. I wouldn't say Louis is not good, but I think Louis might be top of A. It's just because, you know, while consistent and the boosts they get are nice, I feel like I don't think like they're on par with Pebble. Louis is great and all. Their 2-star stealth is awesome, but I think the flexibility of Bark is generally better, even if 2-star stealth is like nicer to have a lot of the time. Pebble's consistently good at 2 health. Louis functionally is locked to 2 health and is like functionally has the same health as Pebble, but is worse unless they're on 1, which you don't ever really want to be on 1. You can do everything Louis can do as Pebble, besides Solaring, I guess, and just be generally better and also have a safety net of having a heart. Which, you know, I would argue if you're a better player, it wouldn't matter, but the safety net is really important. Things happen, lag spikes happen, even just tiny mishaps happen. The game is also buggy, you know? You can't always, like, blame everything to a player's skill level, although I would generally like to keep it like that, but, you know, I'm just saying for the sake. For the sake of this tier list, I'm not going to generally look at, like, oh, well, a bug could happen, but, you know, that's a factor in a lot of runs. Safety net is really important to have. And Louis being generally worse with that safety net than Pebble, you know, I think Pebble ranks higher. I don't think Louis really breaches the S tier. But I do think, out of all of the distractors in the game, they are the closest to matching Pebble's, like, consistency and, like, just how good they are. Speaking of Pebble, Pebble's S tier. Basically for all the reasons I said before, bark is so flexible, and it covers so many cases. You can bring twisteds to you. You can take twisteds from other people without the hassle of like really having to pass. If lower stealth toons are near and take twisteds, you bark. If you're gonna go past a low stealth twisted, you can bark. It's good. It's so good. Pebble also has high, they have high skill check. You know, if you have to extract, you never should. Extractor pebbles are not okay. Let me make it very clear that where I stand there. You survivalist or not, which I will say that you do have a lot of survivalist capabilities with your high speed. Other toons fulfill the survivalist role better, and I think have a higher rate of just surviving in general, while also having 3 hearts and being able to extract way better. You are actively harming the team by playing Pebble and doing, like, you know, extraction, because you just are so slow. You're so slow. And 9 times out of 10, there's always there's an extractor. You don't have to be a survivalist. It's just not worth it. Yeah. But that's just, yeah. It's fine. And I wasn't going to, but I will talk about Rudy now, just because it's relevant. Rudy is, I'd say, bottom of B, on the simple fact that they are so good at surviving. It's nice. Rudy's, you know, using pepper and icing and ghost snakes, which you don't have to. I would say you could swap out one of those for mag if you want to extract faster. They do machines at a very average rate. It isn't slow. It's nice. You can still do machines and not feel shitty about it. Dash is really low cooldown, and you can get to places faster. You can get away from things a lot faster and a lot easier, especially with cooldown cards or peppermint icing to give you stamina. It's so easy for you to get out of shitty situations and get yourself to the places you need to be, and you still extract pretty nice. So, you know, they're just generally good. Yeah, Rudy's awesome. And I mean, you could distract as Rudy with both cards and the ghost snakes and peppermint icing, but you know, it's not that good. I do think it's funny that they're able to. So if you really like, if you know, your distractor died and you want to help the team, you could do that. It's neat. I'm pretty biased though. I like Rudy. Rudy's sweet. Razzle and Dazzle. You know, I generally don't think they're that bad, but you have do machines so slow when you're not, you know, I don't remember which is which, but you know what I mean. When you're doing your when you have high extraction speed, you're so slow, and getting the machines is so bad. There's other toons that extract faster than you, like way faster than you, and get to the machines way faster than you, that, you know, you're not really even that good of an extractor. When you can distract, you're fine, but you're functionally just like Pebble. Like, you have like 5-star speed, I think. You're functionally just Pebble with no bark. So you don't do anything really. You're good, I guess, at both, but the fact that you're 1 speed and, you know, you can't get to machines that fast makes the extraction side really not good. Like, at all. So it's really hard to even call them a jack of all trades, because they don't do either, like, particularly, like, well, you know. Hell, honestly, I hate to say it, I think Extractor Pebbles extract better than Razzle and Dazzle, because they have speed to get to machines. Pebble has high enough skill check to, like, do them. They still do them pretty slow when they get to them, but I feel like on average, if there was like a floor full of machines, you would get to more and do more before R&D could. Which is, it's just horrible to say. Yeah, it's not good. I don't know if I really feel like they're that low, but I'll keep it there for now. Rebecca, oh Rebecca, you do nothing. I actually don't think she's too bad, but I just think it's the fact that she doesn't really have many cases where she does anything that puts her this low. She doesn't get, you know, Nicker Leaks don't affect her, Finn doesn't affect her, and being chased by, like, V and Astro don't do anything, I guess. That's about it. Baseline, they can extract. Well, actually, you know what? These guys are low because they don't have a niche that they really fill, and they don't really do anything well. I think you're at least below Eggson. Actually, not below GG. You extract fine because you're baseline. You have cases where your ability does something, but not a lot. So yeah, I wonder if, I'm pretty sure if it's all debuffs, I don't think Tired would apply on the Spring Fever floor, which is interesting. I don't think I've ever tested that. I just thought of that now. Well, you know, that's a very niche case anyways. I don't think it would affect the rating here, but it's you know, Rebecca's fine. She's not very good, but she's fine. Just kind of the lack of things she does. I think she really does the least out of any toon. Because she can, you know, do the normal activities of extraction and like getting to places, and her ability has use cases, but there's not a lot that her ability actually does, or times that you'll see it do anything. So she's kind of just baseline with like nothing to her. So yeah, being at the end of C is fine. I guess that makes sense. Poppy. Well, you're better than Rebecca, I guess. I almost don't know if she is better than Rebecca. No, she's able to get away from stuff faster. As a beginner, she's like, you know, she's fine. Still so much worse than Boxton. To the point where I think choosing Poppy over Boxton is a sign of low intelligence. But generally, I guess she does what she's supposed to do, and she's good at surviving, I guess, even though she has to take damage to activate it. But you know, she's baseline, she can extract, that's fine. I don't have any more complaints for her. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Roger, you're at the end of B. Roger can, I mean, you know, you only use Roger to get research. So as someone who's beginning and you want that research, he's good. He's so good for it. And you still actively add to the team, you extract fast. Not like super fast, but fast enough. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing else to really say about Roger. His slowness, his like slow speed, really hinders him. But it's not super slow, and I think he's more of a tool to teach people how to play the game effectively, and he really does force you to conserve your stamina, or at least sort of force you, unless you're dumb. So it kind of puts you in the you know, it teaches you skills you need to play the game better. And he still does a nice job doing things. So yeah, Roger's fine. Scraps, generally considered to be one of the worst toons in the game. However, I think they're better than Connie. Well, Connie serves a purpose, you know, a small one, but she has one. Scraps is pretty bad because of her, you know, stats. She's not really good at extracting. She's not really good at moving either. And I'm not sure what her stealth is. I think it's 2 or 3. I'm gonna assume 3 just for this case. I think it's 3 actually. Yeah. Her ability is actually really nice. It's not as nice as it could be. She definitely needs buffed or reworked, but she's able to get the machines from very far away. She's able to get herself out of situations using machines and other people. You know, she does machines slow, but it's fine. She does not need that stamina if she's already have an ability for, or she already has an ability for traversal and no movement speed to utilize that stamina. But you know, she's okay. I mean, she has an ability that does something, and she's able to extract. Not well, but enough. Getting to places really helps with extraction. I think people really ignore that. She has survivalist capabilities, but not a lot to utilize them, which is why she's so much lower than another toon I classify as a quote-unquote survivalist, which is Rudy. Yeah, she's... Shelly. Shelly's S2. Functionally better Finn. She has the ability to get places that Finn, like Finn does. You know, she can zoom to machine to machine to machine. And she's better at doing it. You know, the general strat in organized long runs is having 2 Shellys boost each other. which is crazy. But even without that, she does machines good, and she's able to boost people to do machines fast as well, making functionally anybody fast at machines. She's always a boon to a team, because she's always increasing the speed at which machines get done, and also is being able to do them fast. So yeah, always amazing. Functionally, just always adds to the team by a lot. Shrimpo's F. I don't have to say anything else. There's no case where Shrimpo is not F. That's about it. You know, what a challenge character. Actively harms the team. I mean, I don't understand why we have a character that is actively harming the team by existing as a challenge. This is not a challenge to anybody else but the rest of the team, because this person will die. The other team, the other parts of the team will feel the pain more than the Shrimpo will. So, you know, that's neat. Very good ideas, guys. Sylvester, you're also absurdly low. Like I said for Gordy, higher your stats, it really doesn't. The higher your extraction stats, it makes them more negligible. You're kind of just wasting stars. And having 1-star movement speed without an escape ability, Connie's is already fucking useless half the time. Sylvester has an extra heart that they will lose immediately if more than one Twisted is on them. They will put one Twisted on cooldown, the other will start chasing them, and will not 9 times out of 10 be effectively able to get away, and before the other one re-aggros, you will just be chained like a million damage. God forbid you have any main on you, you're cooked, I'm sorry. Unless somebody comes to save you, you're always cooked. So it's just, your health does nothing, which sucks. Sylvester has a nice design, and you know, when you see a knight, you kind of assume they would have a more interesting ability, but no. 4 hearts that do nothing. That's nice. Thank you, Quell. That's the thanks so much. Sprout's S tier, I guess. Do they deserve S tier? Probably not. But, you know, being able to heal is nice. You do a very nice supporting role. You can back up. And, I guess extract. Not really, but, you know, you can do it. Being able to heal on demand at a range is just always good. You know, Pella gets hurt, you get to heal them. And it saves so much trouble, so much grief. You turn healers in Danny's world, especially Sprout and Ginger, because you know they don't have to be bound by heals. They turn something that is RNG into a certainty, which is always good. Negating the amount of RNG in a run is always like a path to higher numbers, and Sprout fulfills that. And Sprout's just generally good, yeah. That's all I really have to say about Sprout. Sprout's just fine. Tegan. You could argue a lot of what I've said about Rudy for Tegan, but I think the fact that you need Tafes, even though late game it won't matter, makes her worse. And since she doesn't really functionally have the ability to escape, there's a lot of situations where she'll get chained. You know, she's going to be lower. A lot of situations where you'll get chained attacked, because, you know, you don't have the stam to get away from multiple Twisteds at once, especially if they're coming at different angles. She's definitely not bad. She can extract baseline, and she has a lot of survivability, but, you know, a lot of that's going to just be wasted on the fact that you don't have a lot to do when they start chasing you. You know, she's fine. As I said, it would make up a lot if she was better at extracting, but she's really not, so. Nothing better than the average extractor. Tisha's fine. Tisha's like it. Yeah, I feel even gross putting her up this high, I gotta be honest. She can back up, she can distract, she can give speed to the team, give speed through walls. Flight's functionally better, but I think the fact she's able to do it through wall at a range is fine. Not as good as Flight though, because you can reapply it, you can put it in an area, but, you know, whatever. She's good, I guess. She can extract. Not insane, but she can extract. whatever. She's kind of like one of the most whatever toons. Mostly because of flight, but yeah. Toodles, you... Toodles. I don't feel like that's accurate. I think that's probably... I don't know. I just realized Poppy's really low quality. That's not important. Toodles, the RNG dependent ability that you can't really ever use in an instant that... No, you're lower, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah. Their ability, it's a gamble, which is the point, but it's not a gamble like GG's where you're at least going to get something you can choose when to make use of and actually have it do something. They just get a random stat buff to themselves that may or may not do something. You have what is functionally a 1 in 5 chance to get like speed when you need to get somewhere or get away from something. Or, I guess, stealth, if you want to grief somebody. Or, like, skill check, like a 2 in 5 to get skill check or extraction when you're on the machine. Otherwise, it doesn't do a lot. And even then, it's negligible when other toons just have that all the time, functionally. Yeah, they're just really not good. But they're not that bad either, I guess. I'm trying to think if there's anything more I want to say about tools, but not really. V. Right below Yada. People, I think, show V more than is necessary. Now, they are bad. They are bad at certain things. That isn't accurate. Their speed is definitely not great. Their stealth is not great either. But they extract really good. You know, just about as good as Yada. They do, you know, they're just worse Yada in extraction. Because Yada can get around faster, Yada can extract about the same, if not better, and that's about it. They can get away from situations they need to, and they have the same exact stealth. Problem with V is that when they get located, you know, by Twisteds, assuming that there's not like a distractor, it's hard to get away. It's the same problem I was talking about with Sylvester, but at least they have a little bit of speed. It's hard to actually get from Twisteds and to more machines. But their ability, being as good as it is, the passive and the active, you know, put her up here. It makes gathering a lot easier. It also makes, you know, telling the whole team where the Twisteds are at all times good. Locating all the machines, very nice. So many times I've been on floors where like everyone's looking for one machine, we don't know where it is. And V would just negate that problem. I don't think it's necessary at all. I think it's just a lot of quality of life, but it's enough quality of life that, and on top of her already high extraction speed, that she's up in A. Yeah. Let me look around here, see if I want to change any of these. I generally think Connie has more use than Sylvester. Flutter being this low, I mean, she doesn't have a lot of use cases. Rebecca's fine, Poppy's fine, being better than Rebecca. Gigi's here. I feel, I have to see X in more action, but I feel like Gigi at least is doing more. I don't know. That's a tough one between Gigi and Exen. Part of me feels like Exen is better, but I also feel like Gigi can do more sometimes with her survivability and also stuff like getting valves or jumper cables or just general extraction speed buffs like with Candy. But it's a gamble. I feel like Exen's more consistently better. Briny can extract. She can tell you where Twisteds are in a blackout, I guess, but. I feel like Tegan's better than R&D. I feel like, yeah. I don't know. Nah, I don't know. That's a hard. Yeah, no, R&D's kind of like really ass. I'm not thinking about it. I think, yeah, that sounds about right. It's just, God, if they're not distracting on the floor, they're fast. They just extract really slow and they're fast for functionally no reason. And other than getting away from twists, I guess. And then on the floors where they do extract fast, they can't get to machines like very easily to do them. And if they get spotted, they're gone. They're cooked. So yeah, they're kind of just horrible. Worse than Poppy horrible. Worse than Rebecca horrible? Worse than Flutter horrible by far. Actually, yeah. Huh. I don't think they're like unfun, but I think that generally, from like looking at it, generally they're not good. Yeah, that feels bad to put them there, but I think it is just true. Astro, you being in C feels horrible, but it's kind of just true. Glisten being this low feels wrong too. I feel like Glisten gets bumped up to B, maybe above Tisha. Yeah. That's fine. Above Rudy? Yeah, above Rudy. Above nothing. Rudy, yeah. I think generally, this is because their extraction speed is valuable. If the ability, when I say extraction speed, I don't mean the actual extraction speed, I mean the general like rate at which they're able to do a machine. Yeah, Glisten's just good at doing those, and being able to instantaneously just get a Jeffrey card every like 80 seconds, that's just good. I feel like it's probably pretty close though, just because I feel like they are both survivalists in different senses of the word. Because Rudy's more of a generalist, like survivalist, and Glisten's more of a like survivalist-based ability that their kit kind of like goes around, like aiding. Let me look. Cosmo. It's fine, I guess. Just for the simple fact of holding heals functionally. Being able to have Sprout heal themselves is always nice. But, you know. I might move Bobette up a little bit. I said I wasn't gonna have them out there for soloing, but I think the simple fact that it's able to be done and it's nice is good. But I don't think she deserves to be up higher. I think more than Bassie, maybe. More than Bassie if you count soloing. If you don't count soloing, I think if you don't count soloing, she'd be like a bit lower. Maybe not lower than Finn. Maybe right here. There's a lot of times where soloing falls flat, though, with grabbers, for example. It's a lot less consistent to do, and it creates a lot more danger in general. But you can do some nutty things with some crazier combos. Jordy's fine, I guess. V's fine. Yada's fine. Yada being better than V is insane, but it's true. You know, I think Yada's better at extraction in general, but I think V is more of a boon to the team if there's a distractor. If not, Yada's going to have way more survivability and live more, which is important. Flight is fine here. I don't know if Flight's better than Yada, but I think it's the fact that they're generally able to do anything and boost a lot of the team. I put them a bit better. But Yada's able to generally extract better. So I'm thinking. I think Yada is generally better than Flight. Just from the fact that they're able to extract really fast and get around faster and help aid themselves as well. They can also feed Sprout tapes, which is nice. Flight extracts well and generally aids the team in all facets. So they're only a bit lower, I think. Actually, I think Flight should be lower than V. Not because they're like bad, just, you know, I think V's ability does more generally for quality of life, because Flight can only do so much if there's a distractor, other than getting people around and helping people on treadmills and just like, actively doing machines. But, you know, other toons do machines better. His boost is still nice though, so I think that's fine. Eclipse is fine. I don't think, now I'd have to test between Coco and Yada, between their general extraction speed. I think I'm gonna have Coco below V. Just because, yeah, that makes sense. Coco, I feel like, feels the same role that Flight does in boosting people, because Flight can Coco can boost people's speed with the bonbons and extraction speed and whatnot, which is always nice, and herself, which is always nice. She can't actively distract like Flight, if need be, so maybe she'd be lower for that. But her 4-star stealth making her, you know, not like a nuisance, and also just generally like able to do like anything for anybody, because functionally she's able to Shelly boost people, and they can pop it whenever they want to. They give them like a stored boost, and that's just always nice, especially since you can also use it to escape as well. She's good. I like her, but you know, I feel like Flight probably does a bit more in general. V does a lot more for her ability, and Yada just in general is good at her job. Eclipse is up here because I think she's, you know, second most consistent and viable distractor besides these two. Enough so that I think that she should be near here, but not, you know, Louis level. I don't know. Boxing being here is really funny because I don't think he's as good as these guys. Very end of A. No, Gordy's down in B, so yeah, that's stealth though. Yeah, I gotta think about it. Boxed in with 8 people. This is assuming there's 8 people. But the fall off, if one person dies, just one, is man, I don't know. It's not worth it. Actually, you're getting moved down. Below Finn, below Glisten, below Rudy, right here. That makes the most sense to me. Just because if people die, there's other toons that are doing it better than you. There still is other toons that do it better than you, but you are good enough at extracting, and you don't do much anything else to get in the way, or really have any other problems. You have baseline speed. You can generally get to places well enough and get away from things well enough. You do machines at an advanced rate, regardless, as long as you're solo. You're fine. Generally. Yeah. I don't think there's much else to say. Very basic as a starter character, very nice as well. Just taking a look. I'm not sure if Eclipse should be up here, like this far up the tier, if I'm rating in the tiers. Because to be fair, I might be rating Distractors higher because I do see them as more important generally in keeping a run together. But I'm wondering if the value that Eclipse has as a distractor is worth more than the value some of these extractors have. I've just got to think. Now, I think it's just generally because she's only good 25% of the time, and she's less consistent to getting her boost. I think that she would be lower than Yada and V. Maybe even Flight. No, she's better than Flight. I don't know what I'm talking about there. Actually, you know what? Better than V, just because I think that she is competent enough for distracting in general. And she's good at her job. And V generally also has problems where she's not as, you know, good for what she does, but she does it very well. I think they're very similar in a way, for like the way they like are good at their roles. And I think I'm rating her just a bit up because I do think distractors matter a bit more. And, you know, the general case of this game. Yeah, I think this is about my list currently. I'd have to do more testing because the Easter egg just came out and I've only played it for a day. So some of these, like Coco for example, are only going off a couple matches of experience. But I think that's about enough to see. I've seen what it looks like. I remember what Coco was like before because I played her the day before. I think that's accurate enough to be able to dictate off of that. But I might come back to this and make a cleaner video, first of all, and maybe I'll have different opinions, and maybe this will look entirely fucking different. But yeah, my general opinion is I think that all of these toons Generally in C tier, or I guess lower C. That feels wrong. No, 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 no. Nah, 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 nah. I think a lot of these tunes down here, they need buffed bad, or reworked in a tiny bit. It's a tune by tune basis, but you know, a lot of these tunes need more to them. I think even Tisha. Tisha's gonna go lower than Roger actually. In the last second change, I think that Tisha down probably need buffed or reworked, and even some of these guys could get some tiny buffs. Would be nice, but I don't think they will. I think these guys are fine. I think these guys do a job and they do it well enough, and they're fine. Desperately, I think Tisha down all need either a full rework, cough, 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 or a change to, you know, some buffs to their abilities or stats or whatnot. Because as is, man, you're fucking fall from grace. This guy's a main, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, like that sounds about right. I think that's where I'm gonna end my bullshit rant.